Shalom, Akim. I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Racha, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well, and salutations to all the Akim in all four corners of earth who's pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom, Akim. I want to get into this case of this Carmelo Anthony, Jake, who just got sentenced to 35 years in prison for murder. You know, the news is showing more and more of the case, and they're showing, the unfairness, which, this is not our place of rest, so we can't go to our enemies asking about anything being fair. And Esau has no fairness in his heart. He's wicked to his own, so what do you think he would do to you? We could bring up case studies after case studies of, of Esau just doing wickedness to his own and not caring. If you're not in their neighborhood, if you're not in their family, if you're not in their household, they'll do each other bad, man. He's the wicked that the scriptures speak about, and our people, in this day and age, these youngsters, they don't know about the Rodney Kings. They don't know really about the Martin Luther Kings and stuff like that. They don't know about the things of the past because they're not taught that in school. When we were growing up, we had a whole month of watching dogs bite the men up. Women getting drinks thrown on them at the different counters and stuff. As a kid, I asked my mama, "Were you a part of that stuff?" My mama said no, because she was not about to allow anybody to throw anything on her. So, the things that we've seen ultimately were propaganda, but at the same time, it stirred up that hatred for us. And so when the Rodney King incident happened, that was the boil up, man. That was a wrap when I was a kid. And all the white kids that we were friends with one day, the next day the spirit just hopped on us, and we just all met up, all the black kids in my school, particular school I went to, and we said today's the day. We go hunting, and we hunted the white people down. Those white boys that were friends with us, we backed them on the wall and gave them feet and hands, and they said, "You were just over my house." I said, "Yes, I was," but we ain't on that right now. So the point is that there's different this place is a powder keg just ready to blow. As far as you go through the timeline of when we got out of bondage to when we were what's the name of it called? I can't even think of the name of it right now. I got out of bondage and still had to stay around Esau's land and work, and they put us in jail and did heinous charges and things to us, man. Reconstruction there. But Jake has been getting his ass kicked by these devils for quite some time, man. And they showed, like I said in the news article, they showed that these Edomites were huge compared to Jake. This is Psalm 73:3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their depth, but their strength is firm. You got to realize, you got certain states in America that are just strictly for Esau. As I said, certain cities. I'm gonna say certain cities because the states are all for them, but certain cities, especially in Texas, and Texas is a very racist place. Was the last place in the Union to get rid of slavery. They hold on hard to their sundown towns. They're not going to let those go. So yeah, they don't have anything to worry about, man. Their prosperity is all across this wicked place called Babylon, man. Psalm 73:5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So Esau doesn't have to worry about the things that Jake has to worry about, man. This is not his. This is his paradise right here. America's Esau's paradise, but this is not our rest, man. This is our punishment. And daily we are shown, the abuse. The abusers are being shown, and we're the ones that are being abused, and it always shows his grimy face. Esau tries to hide it through sports and comedy and entertainment, but every now and then Well, every now and then the Lord around Esau's spirit up and say, put those niggas right back into place. Put them back down, You got football players and everything upset and basketball players. You know what them devils will tell them, man, go pick up that ball and run it. I didn't tell you to tell me about your problems. We don't pay you for that. That's how they talk to him, man. Jake is a is a child to Esau, in his mind. He has a hatred towards you, man. But yeah, they say Jake stabbed these devils up, and stabbed up an Edomite, and he died. And they said the Edomite got charges, all sorts of charges on him, and violent charges and things of that nature. But once again, those things don't matter, man. He was a good kid. He was a good Edomite. And you shouldn't have done that. That's the way they look at it. This Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. So although you have a bunch of Edomites throwing out cry signs on the internet talking about they're gonna put money on whoever's books beat up Carmelo Anthony in jail, this is how vicious they are. Even though they won the case, the man is in jail. It's still not enough. It's not enough, And this mindset puts me back in the day when they used to just lie and say they would rape their girls and stuff like that. And it wouldn't be enough that they beat us up. Wouldn't be enough that they put us in jail. Now they gotta hang us and cut us up and cut parts of our bodies off. But that's what Esau does, man. He's a wicked man. This goes right to it. This is Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shedded the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Saith thou has not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So these things are getting ready to flip on Esau very soon, man. The hunter will be hunted very soon, man. And this is all the Lord's doing, man. Once again, Esau is being put into the biggest trick bag. The things he's doing right now are gonna escalate, and Jake is seeing he's gonna be like a lion, man. Because he's gonna be very upset, man. And all this is starting, is getting ready for the race riots, man. That's all these things are being started up for, man. From the days of past, those days are over. America's moving forward, and you see the demise of this place. There's no going back to the happiness, those happy days. When I was growing up as a kid, they used to always throw these shows like the Partridge Family, Eight is Enough. These goofy shows, these family warming shows. Well, to me, they was goofy. Because I wasn't living like that. Partridge Family. These guys, these different shows. Brady Bunch and all these shows, they was living that lifestyle that you wanted to live. What you seen on TV. But that wasn't reality for Jake. It wasn't no slapstick comedy for us, man. We had nothing but hard times we had to go through. And so these punishments that are put upon us are now going to come upon our enemies. And we see it playing out right before our very eyes. These Edomites who the Jake had to stab up, these dudes was vicious. These were some vicious Edomites. These dudes had that spirit from the 30s and 40s Edomites, man. That they not taking no shit from no nigger. That's the way they had it. But yeah, these things are being reversed upon Esau, man. And Jake across, because you gotta realize that Jake was down there in Texas, even though it's very racist. They still down there. They got guns too, and they seen this and they was hot, man. They were in the streets. But once again. And this devil, he knows that wasn't right. His whole law system knows that wasn't right. There are lots of lawyers chiming in and saying that, what's the key thing? To have a jury of your peers. There were no peers of his on that jury, man. Or even by anybody that looked like him. Yeah, this place has a lot this guy's a lot to pay for. And the Lord is watching everything, man. And Esau thinks he's going to hide and get away. This is why he's trying to build these different ships to go to the moon and the Mars and the space and stuff, because he's trying to escape from the judgment that the Lord's getting ready to bring upon him, man. This is Matthew 24 and 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And that's our cheat code right there, man, for the hopeful elect, man. You know, it's the Lord's namesake, because this devil's getting ready to come flooding in, man. You know, the Lord is getting ready to rout these spirits upon this place, man. You know, or these different, you know, these Edomites that were once punks. You know, well, shit, they training now. One video one of the elders just put up, it had an Edomite woman. She said that she feels it in the air. And they were all talking about this trial right here. So she feels it in the air. It's time. And they're getting ready. And that was an Edomite woman. You usually have the males out there calling that battle cry. Now you got the Edomite women out there letting you know, man, times is changing, man. That old fun spirit, that old let's go hang out, let's vacation spirit is slowly but surely leaving Babylon the Great, man. You know? But yeah, the times we're in, man, it's getting ready to get ugly, man. And we have the name of the Lord, and these other nations, you know, they're going to be fried. You know, they're going to be missile food. You know, 2/3 of our people going to be missile food. But at the same time, man, the hopeful elect will be saved, man. You know, and that's beautiful because we know that this devil, the weapons he's got and the things he's getting ready to do, you know, he's showing you those things all the time, man. So just be prepared and stay prayed up, man. With that being said, edifying. Shalom, Akim.